and that's why we're here. So I think it's a good opportunity to go through and start by introducing ourselves and maybe have a short presentation. Or what do you think?
Yes.
We have, I think, one quite concrete topic on the table.
Oh, great.
Which could be,
Nice to hear.
which could be, how to say, deliver to the top
Oh,
level.
to better or even fire. Okay.
Is it okay?
Cyberspace. Yeah.
And I think it's not only our issue, it's issue of all residents and constructors.
Okay. Excellent. Very good. So
Shall we start with this, or it will be...
Let's start.
let's start with the introduction first.
Ну, хорошо, тогда в какой последовательности начнем, кто первый представится? Ну, давайте.
Давайте я заместитель председателя комитета по строительству города Санкт-Петербург. Основное направление у нас это проектирование и строительство социальных объектов. Но я так предполагаю, что вас будет больше интересовать с точки зрения инвестиций, но тем не менее строительный процесс и те процедуры, которые в городе существуют, я в принципе могу пояснить, если есть какие-то вопросы.
So we have a representative of St. Petersburg government here, deputy chairman of the committee for construction of the government of St. Petersburg. So we are responsible for construction of social objects like kindergartens and schools and all this stuff. So in case you have some questions, you can ask them right here, right now, or just later on.
We have several schools and kindergartens to be constructed quite soon here in St. Petersburg, for instance.
Коллеги говорят, что в Украине несколько школ и детских садов будут строить в ближайшее время в Санкт-Петербурге. Поэтому рад вас здесь видеть. It's all the same. Pleasure to have you here. Okay, who is next? Atom?
Okay, I represent, as we call ourselves, the last independent Russian investment bank with a full scale of operations locally and in a few European countries. How can we be useful? Let me waste 20 seconds of your time. We have both local and international infrastructure, which allows us to provide proper advice for international investors, local investors, to do cross-border deals, structuring, restructuring, solving debt issues, finding assets for foreign strategic or financial investors, advising our corporate clients to do financial and strategic investments in Russia. We work both with Russian law and English law, so we are able to practically structure any kind of transaction involving international investors. We also have the largest, I think, chain of offices across all Russia. We have offices in 52 cities of Russia, and we have, if we speak about construction, we have established good contacts with construction companies and construction companies' shareholders, so we might be able to utilize our retail network in order to somehow not find new construction sites, but probably find some assets or partners or counterparties for Finnish construction companies. Imagine.
So we try to have here a wide range of representatives to cover different issues from different sides. So from investment side, it's development of the projects, I mean mainly financial development. So we have Tom, which is interested in cooperation with the Finnish companies to develop projects both in Russia and in Finland. So I know they are participating in structuring the deal for the new Finnish nuclear power plants. Okay, so next representative of the Russian team here is another region from the south, Astrakhan free zone, aim to develop the south of Russia. So it's a possibility to consider a finishing manufacturing or partly manufacturing of something in the south of Russia using special tax customs regimes. Okay.
Здравствуйте, коллеги. Зовут меня Евгений Маркелов. Я являюсь заместителем генерального директора управляющей компании особой экономической зоны ВОТС.
So Evgeny Markelov is the deputy chairman of the free economic zone Lotus in the Astrakhan region in the south of Russia.
Я рассчитывал, что в этом зале будет проектор. Хотел презентовать вам нашу экономическую зону, но, увы, ошибался.
Есть проектор, это вот этот
I
кадр.
suppose we shall say
Okay. Because the
Because
TV is on.
it doesn't fit here.
Oh yeah, okay. Sure. You need to walk there. I might have.
Поэтому кратко, что касаемо бизнеса, наше предложение построить производство в особой экономической зоне. При этом у вас появляются большие преференции, налоговые и таможенные преференции, что выгодно будет вам тем, что вы заходите на рынок России, учитывая, что большинство компаний уходит с рынка благодаря акции.
Okay, so in few words, the proposal of the economic zone. So in fact, this is the last but not least free economic zone created in Russia. So they are now finishing the infrastructure developments, and I suppose it's the only free economic zone in the south of Russia. So it can be used as a gateway to entering southern Russian markets, and through that gateway you can also enter Iranian, Kazakhstan market because they are on the Caspian Sea. So the main focus is shipbuilding of the free economic zone, but they are open to have residents from any other industry. For example, so we are the first our shipyard Lotus is the first residence there, but the second resident is from absolutely different industry. So it's plastic pipe manufacturer interested in the Russian market. So they open manufacturing facilities there. So if you are interested in that, so they are open to cooperate.
Соответственно, мы строим для вас инфраструктуру всю в особой экономической зоне, даем вам льготы и, естественно, помогаем вам в поиске рынка, в поиске сбыта продукции. Дмитрий Петрович как раз таки тоже работает по данному направлению.
So they render all the infrastructure, so the power, connection, water, so everything needed for working in the free economic zone. So you can use the special conditions, so zero tax for profits, some other preferences in tax regime. Also you can benefit from special customs regime, so in case you import equipment to be used as a manufacturing facility, so zero custom duty for it. And then if you use imported equipment or goods in the manufacturing process, so then the rule of added value matters. So if the added value is above some percent, then the duty is also zero. So it's common practice for free economic zone if you ever face this.
Поэтому я очень рад знакомству со всеми вами, коллеги, и надеюсь на дальнейшее сотрудничество и обсуждение, если вас заинтересует это предложение.
Okay, so they were going to be here, and they were glad to meet you, and in case you have some interest in establishing or setting up manufacture or something close to manufacture, assembly in Russia, so this is one of the opportunities in the south.
Hello, my name is Nikolai Popov. I'm a head of sales of Russian company LLC. Our Hain, develop solar business in Russia. Our company can provide end-to-end services for solar business from design and production for solar PV models to end up operation and construction solar PV plants. We're interested in developing business in Finland. Also, we have partners in Finland. We know that government's policy of renewable energy in Finland very well, and it will be good in the future. We know that 30% of capex can be returned from government to higher companies, and 40% for some other kinds of businesses, like we know. And this is a good future for our business. What we can offer to Finnish companies? We can offer solar PV models from our plants, factory in Novocherkassk, and nowadays we are developing cooperation with AI Energy, Mr. Pekka Vilkainen's company. This is a Finnish businessman. Today Pekka Vilkainen, yes. Sorry for my Finnish. Pekka Vilkainen.
Yeah.
All Pekka.
Also here.
And together, in cooperation with AI Energy, we can provide engineering, procurement, construction services for solar business market in Finland. So nowadays, we're interested to cooperate with such companies like represent here, and can give an offer if you're interested in it. Also, I must remember that our business is very big. We have, like I say, factory in Novocherkassk. We have a large solar technology company. This was founded in order to develop, operating, and build solar PV station in Russia. Also, we have a R&D center here in Moscow for St. Petersburg. It's based on Geosphere Scientific and Technical Institute. We have two investors. This is Mr. Renova group of companies and Russian state company used. Thank you.
So thanks. It's nice to hear that Russia is not only exporting woods and oil and gas, but we have some technology.
In the third quarter 2015, we realized first pilot project in Finland, and we are very proud of them because it's our first project in the PV business in the European Union. I think will be a great future for our cooperation.
Okay, shall we start from there, actually? You promised that we have.
Yeah, we have some ideas. Yes, my name is Kari Kauniskans. I'm President and CEO of YIT Corporation, which is the biggest residential developer, foreign one in Russia, and one of the biggest construction and development companies also in Finland. And at this moment, I think that's almost enough. I will come back later in our things.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Teemu Helppolainen. I'm head of YIT's operations in Russia. As Kari told in his presentation in the big auditorium, we are the biggest foreign residential developer in Russia. We have more than 9,000 flats under construction. Before coming to the practical issue which we would like to raise, I would like to say that what concerns solar technology and solar cells, we have had one pilot project in Yekaterinburg. We have been using solar cells on the roof, and we are producing electricity for common premises with solar cells. And I think our colleagues in Ekaterinburg, they are very interested to continue work on that field. And the second thing is that YIT has been using already Russian building materials. We have been using insulation material produced in Russia, and also roofing materials in our Finnish projects. But the practical issue in Finland, yes, in Finland, not only in Russia, but in Finland. So we are importing, we have been importing Russian materials produced by modern factories, and we haven't seen any difference in quality. If there is a difference in quality, then the quality is maybe better than in Finland. But the practical issue is related to Law 214. Maybe you know that the residential business in Russia is regulated by Law 214, and it's a very famous law, and YIT has always sold all flats to consumers in frame of that law without any exception. We haven't used any grey sheets. In the beginning of 2014, this law got addendum, and since January 2014, the registration authorities, they require that some insurance company has insured the developer in case his financial difficulties or even bankruptcy. And we think that that is a move to right direction. We welcome all efforts to protect the consumers' interest. But since 1st of October this year, there was a small change in the law, and now only companies, insurance companies, which are listed on the Russian Central Bank list are allowed to give insurances for developers. There are some 20 companies, insurance companies. Most of them, they don't want to be on that list, and only a couple of companies in reality they are giving those insurances. Why the situation is such? The problem is that from insurance company perspective, they cannot assess. They don't know what is the risk, because it's unlimited. Theoretically, it can happen than today the developer make a bankruptcy, and the flat will be ready after 10 years, and developer, or what is left from the developer, are obliged to pay penalties and compensations to flat owner, and those penalties are unlimited, because nobody knows when the house will be ready, and that's why the let's say good and quality insurance companies, they are not willing to give those insurances, and also those small insurance companies who are ready to give them, the amount of the risks or funds what they have allocated to this is so limited that in practice the whole registration process is now stopped in whole Russia. This problem concerns projects which have got the building permit after 1st of January 2014. It doesn't touch all the projects or ready flats. But we have nowadays the situation that what concerns new projects which are under construction, registration projects in practice is stopped in Russia. And
from 1st of October?
1st of October this year, yes. And this leads now of course to some kind of collapse of the market, because nobody can sell new flats. Of course, it leads to back to 90s when some developers used some kind of gray schemes, yes, and is the situation, and we know that on government level there are discussion how to solve this problem. Our proposal is and has been that it's very easy to solve the problem. We have to limit the risk level, so that insurance company knows what is the maximum risk. And
car insurance, so
Yes.
yes,
obligatory car insurance.
yes. And the whole problem is solved.
At the same time, that client has paid for it.
Yes.
Okay, suppose we have the right person here to comment first, and then if you want us as a intergovernmental body to address the government, we can do this.
But my proposal is that we could send a letter on
Yes.
this issue.
Yeah.
From this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do this.
We can ask our lawyers
Yes.
to prepare.
Okay, so we want to hear comments from St. Petersburg government for the moment, or
Why not?
давайте я переведу, в чем вопрос заключается, потому что вопрос проспал. Есть закон, насколько я понимаю, о любом строительстве, 214 и там, они по нему всегда работали в ГТ, и проблем не было. В начале 2014 года к нему вышли изменения, которые касались обязательного страхования при любом строительстве. Они продолжали работать, соблюдали все эти требования, но с 1 октября вышли новые поправки к закону, по которым перечень страховых компаний, которые могут предоставлять страхование, он был ограничен специальным перечнем Центрального банка. Из этого перечня только несколько компаний, как коллеги объяснили, хотят страховать такие риски, потому что риски они ничем не ограничены. И оценить их мало страховых компаний могут. Вот, поэтому практически с 1 октября длевое строительство оно прекратилось. Официальное длевое строительство, то есть начали придумывать серые схемы, как это дело обойти, потому что маленькие страховые компании, которые там брали страховой риск на себя, они не в состоянии выполнить все условия Центробанка в этот список попасть. Те, кто в списке есть, они не хотят, поскольку они большие и имеют свои стандарты, и оценить эти риски не могут, страховать не хотят эти риски. Поэтому вот на примере УИТ, то есть строительство остановилось, они видят это на примере многих других компаний. То есть, как коллеги говорят, они слышат, что это активно обсуждается в правительстве, но решения пока нет, и вот как раз они хотели услышать комментарии, если комментарии есть, и, соответственно, хотели предложить там обратиться, понять, куда правильно обратиться, с тем, чтобы эта проблема была решена, потому что у них есть конкретное предложение на законодательном уровне ограничить эти риски, там, аналогично тому, как по ОСАГО ограничены риски, также здесь ограничить там какую-то сумму разумную.
Значит, насколько мне известно, да, действительно, как бы сейчас 214 федеральный закон обсуждается в министерстве, создана рабочая группа, в том числе в этой рабочей группе участвуют объединения строителей Санкт-Петербурга, и эти вопросы обсуждаются, действительно. Значит, то, что касаемо, куда можно обратиться с предложением, я думаю, что это Министерство строительства, как они являются основным органом власти, который регулирует данный вопрос. Значит, по поводу того, что есть отказ от страховых компаний, мне неизвестно на сегодняшний день, нет проблем, по крайней мере, не озвучивал наши питерские инвесторы. В принципе, сказать, что там пошла какая-то остановка из-за этого. Есть вопросы, но в принципе они их решают. Поэтому, если есть предложение, я думаю, что можно обратиться в Министерство строительства на имя со своими предложениями.
Вот, коллеги, то, что я не перевел, они уточнили, что это касается объектов разрешения строительства, которые получены после 1 января 2014 года. То есть, может быть, просто еще эти объекты не подошли, там хватает тех объектов, где разрешение строительства было раньше, по ним проблем нет, то есть здесь правила не касаются, но тем не менее.
Продажи начинаются после того, как получают разрешение на строительство, по 214 федеральному закону, поэтому я думаю, что если в январе получено разрешение на строительство, то он уже реализовывается. Естественно,
Касается только тех, которые сейчас закладываются в проект, поэтому, видимо, немного, поэтому пока еще нет большого
на самом деле,
количества возмущенных.
по поводу тех изменений, Да, как бы есть строительное сообщество Санкт-Петербурга действительно как бы предполагает некие риски как бы, в связи с этими ограничениями. И на сегодняшний день закон обсуждается, и если я не ошибаюсь, там группа, рабочая группа встречается там не реже, чем один раз в месяц.
Можно предложить коллегам попытаться войти в эту рабочую группу, как минимум, наверное, если это возможно.
Я думаю, что возможно подготовить обращение на мнение, чтобы они включили, либо включили,
И
либо...
включили, и
Да, и
предложение.
само предложение, как бы, я думаю, что это будет интересно. Почему нет?
Okay, so I translate. As far as the governance of St. Petersburg sees the situation, so there are no big, not many companies who suffer from that for the moment, so they don't feel many complaints for the moment, but what they know is that it is a special working group inside the Ministry of Construction of the Russian Federation. So this group consists of the biggest construction companies working in Russia, and this working group is focused on this problem, on the problem of law 2014. So what we can propose to you is to send a letter, so directly or through us, so it doesn't matter, to the Ministry of Industry of the Russian, to the Minister of Russian Federation, asking to become part of this working group, just to participate in discussion how to change the law and to propose the changes that you already have. And then we can support.
Would it be possible to send it in our name, I mean, this council's name,
I will.
signed by Mr. Armanov?
If you find the right wording, we can do that.
Yeah, I think it would be more efficient.
Yes.
That's actually our task.
Yes, true.
Because it's
We
not-
can do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's not only YIT related issue,
It's,
but
it's,
it's
it's common interest.
Minkä NCC.
Yeah.
You don't have at the moment.
Yeah, practically no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I will have the same issue with your sense. Because we have a big problem as well. But we are coming to that later on.
Right, okay. Good. So we can continue now.
Yes, I'm a little bit different child in this family because of course I'm not coming from a construction company but from a paint company. Tikkula is the name of the company. My name is Erkki Järvinen, and Tikkula of course has been a long time in Russia, more than 50 years already. We are the market leaders in decorative paints and coatings. And I think the biggest challenges that we face right now and have been facing on the market is really the chemical legislation. So what we have been trying to lobby is really the Russian authorities so that such hazardous chemicals which still can be used in Russia in paint production should be banned, like lead chromates, for example. So this is something we have been doing together with the East Office also. So it has more to do with chemical legislation and that kind of things. So what we try to do is really, of course, to safeguard that the Russian consumers and professional painters are not in or would not be in danger when they are using the paint products. So we are not using those ingredients, but quite many of our competitors are using those lead chromates. And also, of course, we are interested, we have pretty interesting new functional paints in our portfolio. We just bought last year actually 2 companies, one in Denmark, one in Sweden, which are producing special kinds of paint, for example, mold prevention and energy efficient products used on roofs and in different places in construction material. So this could be something for the very harsh conditions, weather conditions that you also have here in Russia, which could suit well to the Russian buildings in different places. So I think there's quite a lot we can offer for the Russian consumers, professionals and construction companies and industrial customers. But I think we have a little bit different challenges compared to what YIT was referring to. So we don't have that kind of issues on our table, and actually the current situation is thinking about, for example, the legislation or the infrastructure, the kind of surroundings in Russia are pretty okay for us. So the main problem is of course the currency, the devaluation of ruble and the deteriorated purchasing power of the Russian consumer. But we don't have any problems or challenges with the legislation or sanctions or whatever that we don't face. So it's very normal on that front, but of course not normal on the purchasing power front.
Do you have any manufacturing facilities
We
in
have
Russia?
we have three manufacturing units in St. Pete and one in Stari Osko. So we employ more than 1,200 people here in Russia. So we produce out of the products we sell in Russia, most of them are produced also in here. So we still import some products from Finland, mainly under Tikkurila brand, but most of the goods that we sell in here are also produced in Russia. And as said, we have been more than 50 years in here. We are very committed to the Russian market. This is by far the biggest growth potential for Tikkurila also in the future.
Can we help in some way regarding this electromates
I think
legislation?
we still should continue. We
Yeah.
started that
Yes.
in the old days, and I think we still should continue because it's quite important. And really thinking about the professional painters especially.
Yeah.
So they are really, and these have been banned long time ago in REACH regulations, for example in EU.
Yeah.
So we feel that this should more or less be the same system in here. So we are not saying that Russia should have REACH regulation, but in this respect it should be the same, because we don't see any reason for continuing with this kind of dangerous hazardous ingredients.
I suppose we have the same other see here, the Ministry of Construction probably, who is setting up the rules
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
for using materials.
yeah. And we even established a kind of a organ called Quality Paint Association 3 years ago. We were the founding father, and there are also
Russia.
in Russia. There are also some Russian companies, some Western manufacturers of raw materials which are used in paint, and some other Western paint producers who are also producing here in Russia. So we try to lobby with this of course with this Quality Paint Association, so that it wouldn't be only Tikkurila who is saying this, but the Quality Paint Association is this opinion. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Jussi Kutsa and I'm country director for SRV. SRV is a Finnish listed company established in 1987. We started actually the whole company with a construction project of meat processing plant in Soviet Union in Estonian Republic those days, and since then we have been permanently at the market. Currently in Russia we are a shopping center developer, which means that we act as a full scale player. We are, despite that we are main contractor, we are also investor. We do the leasing process of the shopping center, we operate the ready mall, and finally, of course, the ultimate target is to sell the built running mall to the outside investor some nice day. And generally, what comes to the challenges working in Russia in our style of business, first of all I would like to say that especially in St. Petersburg the process of getting the construction started, meaning going through all the processes plus getting the building permit, it's much more transparent and faster than in Finland. And we have had actually no big difficulties in that terms. Of course there are certain challenges with these monopoly companies, but it's differently. But they are also handleable if you have good local people to taking care about them. That's positive, and you can quite well predict when you launch the project when you will be ready with that. But naturally, we all know the challenge comes from the general macroeconomical situation, since the mall is just a place which takes the people from the street to buy something, and our final customers, if we look at the big picture, they are individual consumers. And if their purchasing power is strengthening like it has now been, mainly because of the devaluation, of course this is putting the pressure for the whole business concept. But that's normal life. It's just adapt and survive, like we call the strategy at the moment. There are no special complaints that it's so difficult. It's not. I think that it's not easier in Finland or wherever you go to the European zone.
комплимент вам сделали, скажем, что Сергей знается, наверное, с компанией, которая строит и оперирует торговыми центрами, в том числе и в Санкт-Петербурге, и процесс получения разрешения на строительство и запуска проекта, если это девелоперский проект по строительству бизнес-центра. Здесь дали в Санкт-Петербурге даже более прозрачно и понятно, чем в Финляндии. Сделать это можно быстрее, чем в Финляндии. Вот, поэтому коллеги говорят, что с этим проблем они пока здесь они проблем не видят и сложности не испытывают, и помощи здесь никак не надо, поскольку процесс как раз запуска проекта.
Мы постоянно в этом направлении работаем. И на самом деле, когда, если там говорить, мы работаем по поводу устранения административных барьеров как в жилищном строительстве, так и вообще как бы получение разрешения.
Коллеги пожаловались уже.
Нет, ну есть вопрос, ну, допустим, да, есть вопрос, как бы, там, да, точно так же наш комитет выступал с некими предложениями там, по уменьшению административных процедур. Допустим, мы в этом году направили предложение об исключении 30 процедур, порядка 30 процедур. На самом деле, как бы, 11 процедур будут уже исключаться.
Complement us, just few more. So they are constantly working on improving the process of getting permits and launching the development projects in St. Petersburg. And during last year, only committee for construction of St. Petersburg offered to eliminate 30 different administrative procedures which were making the process longer. And so out of these 30 procedures, 11 is under being cancelled for the moment. So they try to make it even faster and more clear and understandable. So the procedure of getting permits and getting all the papers needed to start construction.
One short comment more is that if this is very narrow aspect, if I speak just speaking about having a building constructed, but then there comes a huge mountain of challenges when we are starting to speak about how to, for example, build the roads to the building and all these infrastructural issues in big format. And just simple, the most simple road accesses. It's amazing that how it can take easily several years to agree, especially when there is the power changing during the period of time. Road access, simple thing, just bulldozer, bang, asphalt, boom. No way.
Ложка дегтя.
No need to translate.
Получить разрешение на строительство это как бы меньше вред, то есть с этим проблем нет. А вот дальше начинается огромное количество проблем, связанных с реализацией проекта, и как бы, самое серьезное из них это инфраструктурное, то есть получение транспортного там, доступа к объекту, если мы говорим о торговом центре, там, договориться с тем, кто там, имеет право на дорогу и получить нормальный подъезд, может занять годы.
Ну, к сожалению, есть проблемы, потому что, естественно, с точки зрения там, строительства, да, строим на земельном участке, построить его без проблем. Обеспечить потом согласование подъездных дорог, которые, по сути дела, являются строительство которых в основном не за счет инвестора, да, там, а за счет уже дорожного хозяйства, да, конечно, в этом есть проблема. И самое интересное, то, что да, есть как бы такая проблема, что даже если инвестор готов его построить, то вопрос передачи на баланс тоже возникает.
Подарить тоже нельзя,
Подарить там возможно, но есть свои сложности. Не предполагается.
And it seems to be so that he very well knows the challenges as well. There is one famous bridge which is connecting this Baltic Pearl area to the other part of the city. The bridge is ready. It has been once given to the city, handed over, but because of the formal mistakes in the paper, city returned it to the Baltic Pearl, and now they are trying to hand it over again. But the city has been standing there 1.5 years already. What a Jesus!
Про мост тоже печально известный, который уже давно построен, но ввести в эксплуатацию не могут из-за того, что передают с баланса на баланс и никак передать не могут из-за ошибок в документации.
Ну, это вопрос.
Это просто опция трактора.
Реализуйте то, что в документации.
Okay, so
That's it.
do you have any proposals to be raised on high level for long term?
Generally, I have a lot of proposals, but I think that it's we have to take reality account and we can't change all the things once. Go step by step, like you mentioned, to cut 30 steps first and then next 30 and step by step. But when you know how the process works, you can work fluently. Just you have to have good people who run after the papers and processes.
Okay, good. So we had the presentations from
Yes,
everybody.
that's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm representative for the Committee for External Relations of St. Petersburg. So I'm from Lithuania. We work with